So that
Welcome, welcome. As I'm jamming to your lovely song. Let me turn it down a little bit. She said we can groove for a little bit, huh? I love this song, dear. Gazola.
my first song.
What's it? It's beautiful.
Thank you.
You look lovely.
Like turn like super pretty for these interviews, even though I'm home.
Absolutely. It's still daylight there?
No, it's nighttime. It's
nighttime. Okay.
Wait, where are you?
Girl, I'm in California.
Wow, on the other side.
On the other side. Hold on, I just want to pause the song here. Yes. I'm in California. It is, of course, it's still daylight, but daylight standard is about to start. Daylight savings is about to kick in, I guess, or standard. I don't know. It's all confusing to me.
That's right. It's in November, I think. Right?
Yeah.
That go back in time. I don't even.
Do we get more sleep or do we lose sleep? Look, I don't know.
Oh, that's always the question.
Yeah.
Get more sleep.
Absolutely. Well, welcome to the Face Behind the Brand. I am your host, Monique Marie, and you are Nathasha Rumbos. You like how I put that little twist down there, huh, girl?
I love exactly how I want everybody to say my name with that, like.
I totally feel it because it's just, the whole vibe. So you're Venezuelan, right? You're from Venezuela? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So tell me more about Nathasha. Where is Nathasha from? Obviously, I just said, but where are you now? And tell me more about your background.
All right. Well, I was born in Venezuela, but I migrated here to Miami with my mom when I was 5, and I've been here for 20 years already. So I feel like Miami is like, it's my home. What I've known my entire life, basically. So that is my like ethnicity background. And let's see what else. Well, I am a Latin pop singer for anybody who's watching. I sing Spanish music, but I like to do some songs that are bilingual just to add a little sniff to it. And oh God, like let's go a little back. What else? What I do currently? So I do a lot of things currently. I'm a bartender on the side. You got to make money somehow.
I love that.
By making music, you got to find ways to, make money. So I'm a bartender. I also work in radio. I work for Cox Media Group here in Miami as the promotions team. So I do that. I've been doing that for years, but it's kind of been on hold because of the whole COVID thing. We don't really have events or anything, so I haven't been doing anything with them. But I'm still working with them when it ever starts getting events and concerts. So that's a little bit of like I like to do a lot of interacting with people. I love obviously performing.
Yes.
Has always been my number one passion. And I recently, about like 2 years ago, when I started working at the radio station, I got the passion. I really, really liked talking, like, conversating with people on air, or just in person. I like talking. So I was like, let me give this a shot, like an on-air personality.
Yeah.
So, working on my little air checks, I ended up getting, I'm a co-host in a YouTube show called Movie Reviews and More.
Wow.
So I do a little bit of everything. I don't like to just stick to one thing. I kind of want to be able to do a lot of things in the entertainment industry. I mean, it's been radio, movie host, what I'm saying, co-host.
Well, I mean, you're an entertainer, right? So, I mean, as far as what we do, artist to artist, obviously, I'm a singer and a songwriter. And so, I mean, I think even this whole, journalism thing came about during pandemic. So I totally get it. I get what you're doing. And I love your energy. You know, I kind of being picky and choosy, you know, because I want people to feel and be inspired, you know, when they watch this platform that I'm doing. When's your birthday? What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Okay, so very, very energetic. I picked that up, and I love that. I mean, it's like in your music, you know, in your songs, your empowerment is very evident. And yeah, for women especially, I mean, we need that, right? So
I feel like the that I give off, like I always want to be like a super positive person and just always try to like push that positive energy. So I always try to keep myself like always happy and always, and if something wrong happens, I always try to find the bright side to anything. So
yeah, I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me more about the beginning, the passion for music, as of course, you know, I kind of go into the background, the skip tracing I do on my guests. So don't mind me when I go a little deep. So you started, your passion started in summer camps when you were younger. I got that. So tell me more about that, how that drove you to want to sing and write.
So summer camps, oh my God. So you know how like in every summer camp, there's a talent at the end of the summer, you know, and I was always so excited to participate in the talent show. I'd be like, oh, who wants to be part of the talent show? Literally me, like the first to put her hand up was me. So that's when I got the glimpse that I was like, okay, like I like performing in front of people. I still don't know what I like to do yet, because at that point, like I wasn't singing, you know. I sang, like I never thought about it as a career. So it was a fun thing that I was good at, you know. So that's where the passion started. I did a lot of like musical theater. Like it was like acting and singing, and that's kind of when I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like I can do this. Yeah, I mean, as a young kid, you know, you think you can do anything, and I still think you can do anything. You put your, you know? So that's how that passion started, which literally after like led to middle school, where I was like, I want to join a band, like a school band. And I was like, I want to learn the saxophone, because I still didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. I know I want to do something, but I don't know yet. So I did, I joined my school band, and I was super excited because I wanted to play the saxophone. I ended up with another instrument and the French horn. And I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't really, me and the brass instrument not really click. So it was one day we were playing a concert for auditorium, and this girl was singing with our band. And I just honestly, I loved her, just the way she carried herself, like how she moved the audience, like how everybody just kind of what's it called, like was attracted to like all that stuff. And you know, from me behind playing the instrument, I just looked and I was like, I feel like this is something that I would love to do, you know. People and you know, kind of see, you know, people have told me like when I was younger that I, you know, I had a good voice, and I was like, you know, like at least I don't sing off key, so let's see how this goes. And you know, fast forward to high school, I joined chorus there, and I was part of the vocal magnet program. So it was like very like, you know, every day you had music class, like you had to learn theory, you had to like work on your voice. So throughout those 4 years in high school, like I was able to, you know, train my voice, learn, you know, soprano, alto, tenor, like all those different ranges. And I kind of got to know music in high school. And that's when I was like, okay, like this is something I'm super passionate about. Like, even though like some of my weakness in high school, now I've overcome it, but I was like, I have stage fright, like crazy. Like,
oh my goodness.
You want to be a singer, but you have stage fright. Like I could sing in front of like maybe 5 people. And if it was more than that, I'll be like freaking out. So, I eventually got over that. I remember my first concert ever I was a freshman, and I had to do a solo. And like the auditorium was sold out, and I'm like, oh my God, like I think lyrics, like I was like so nervous. And when I first got on the stage, I literally forgot everything and I ran out. Like,
my God.
I was so scary. It was the scariest moment of my life. And then I'll never forget, my teacher was like, Natasha, you need to get back up there. And you know the song, you've rehearsed it, like, you can do it.
Yeah.
And then I went and I sang for like, I think it was like 500 people. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my
and
God. Well, thank God for her. Thank God for that teacher, because, you know, sometimes when you don't have the people around you that you need, you know, that can be very, you know, discouraging. So I want to skip around a little because that's something I want to ask you about, support system. You know, I know you, of course, have a wonderful writer who you've met, John Stewart. And shout out to John Stewart. As I was telling you, I was like, where is his Instagram? I couldn't find, but I'm like, I'm going to have to tag him somehow because, you know, with this incredible music and these songs, I know you've collaborated with him. I know I understand his background, you know, as far as the director of films and, you know, major films. So I'm just like happy for you because you're working with someone who is very driven and also aware of this industry that you've stepped into. So talk to me about the support system with John Stewart and your mom and anyone else that is around you that is your system.
So my main support system is my mom. Has literally always been there, obviously since day one, clearly, but she's like the biggest fan of mine. Like, I'm telling you right now, she's in the living room watching this Instagram
Hey,
live.
mommy. You know, it's so funny. I think my mommy's on here too. So both mommies. Shout out to mommy and mommy.
That's me.
Is that her? Is that Carolina? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Hello. We appreciate you sharing your beautiful daughter with us tonight.
Yes. So my mom is number one supporter. She was always, I'm glad that I was able to have a parent that was like, you know, if that's what you like, go for it. Like,
yeah.
You know, it doesn't automatically make you money in the, you know, the first times that you try it. Like, if it's something you're really passionate for and you know that's what you're meant to do on this earth, like,
do it.
And she always was very like, Natasha, like, when are you gonna go audition? Natasha, why did you stop writing music? Because I did have a time where I stopped. I stopped writing because I was in a space that I didn't believe in myself, and I just let a lot of people's opinions affect me and about my music, and I just kind of stopped. And she was always there, like, I miss you singing. I miss that. I miss hearing your voice around in the living room singing. Like, I literally like stopped. So my support system, my mom has always like, my goal is to, you know, I will.
Yes.
Very clear. Like, I will get that level in my career where I want to be able to take care of my mom. Like, you know, she doesn't have to work anymore. Be like, Mom, like, travel, you want to go to the gym, want to like do whatever you got to do. Like, I'll take care of you, you know? So that's a big goal of mine.
Yeah.
To reach the music level career that I want to. So she's my main support system. And I have my friends are also very huge on supporting me. My boyfriend, he's on this live too, my boyfriend. And Ale, that's my best friend right there. I have a good support system. I'm very blessed and grateful that I have people that push me to continue doing it, because, you know, just because, you know, I don't have money like that or know people in the industry, like, doesn't mean that I can't reach that level of success that I want in
Absolutely.
music.
Well, I like your energy, like I said, because that, like, how you correct yourself right away too when you're thinking, well, I'm not, well, and when I do and I will. I mean, all those things are so powerful and encouraging. And you're a lot younger than I am, but I want to say, because it does happen, you know, you have your states and your time periods when you pause, and there's my mom. She said hello to you. Thank you, Mommy. And I see, let's see, who is that? Varel Monica said, so proud of you. That's your, okay, so all the support system is here. So I think I always ask about support system because, you know, it's crucial. Like for me, I'm an only, you know, to my mother. I'm her only, you know. So she's like, if anything, it's opposite. She's my baby to me. So I'm like 10 kids in one when it comes to my mom, and protecting her. And yes, like what you said, wanting to have enough one day so where she will never have to work for anyone ever again. You know what I'm saying? So that's powerful. And the spiritual part of you is very prominent too, because I'm not saying religion, I'm saying spiritual. So, and I'm a very spiritual person when it comes to energy and getting the energy that you're giving us, you know, from your music, from your presence, your sound. Where does that come from? I mean, what do you do daily that keeps your mindset focused?
My, I'm so glad you asked this question. Okay. About 3 weeks ago, my mom challenged me to do a 21-day meditation.
Love it.
And every day, it was had to focus on different things. Like, you know, you had to like be grateful about like waking up, or being grateful for like little small things you usually don't think about because you always have it, but other people might not have it, you know? Mm-hmm. So those 21 days of meditation like gave me like, you know, I was able to see the world in a different way that I haven't really like seen it like spiritually, you know, like mm-hmm. I always be grateful. I feel like if you are grateful second of the day, like you're always going to attract positive energy, good things in your life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I've seen it work. It's worked so many times on me that I'm just like, wow, like. Yeah. Today I was in Publix and I was like struggling because I needed to buy an almond flour and I couldn't find the almond flour. And I'm literally thinking, I'm like, okay, thank you for helping me find this almond flour. And I'm telling you, in a split second, mm-hmm. this Publix employee was like, hey ma'am, like, do you need help? And I was like, whoa, like literally, like as soon as I said thank you, mm-hmm. like
gratitude, right?
It's happened so many times, mm-hmm. and it's crazy. I had this it's just, that's what I do, honestly. Like, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for all of the things that I have in my life, the good and the bad things, you know? And I always like to manifest.
Girl, don't get me started, honey.
Every time I'm at work and it's like super slow, I start saying, thank you for the trip I'm going to take here with my mom. Thank you for these Latin Grammy that I'm going to win next year. Like,
girl, yes.
I start just throwing it out into the universe. Oh, it's going to come back to me. So that's if for everyone that's watching, definitely just start saying thank you for everything. Thank you for the phone that's in front of you that lets you communicate with other people that aren't in your same room. Like, you know, gotta be grateful for all the opportunities that life throws at you, you know, and for all the bad ones too, because you learn, that builds you up. So, oh my God, don't get me started, because I love talking about all this stuff. And
girl, no, you'll be fine, because it was the other night I was on with DJ High Volume, and we were talking same thing. He was like, if I go on, we're gonna have to like get cut off and come back on. So you're fine. But no, I appreciate you, you know, because I go into that, and I don't want anyone to ever feel, you know, because everybody has different religious backgrounds. And that's why I say, well, I'm not asking you a religious question. I want to know what your relationship is with God, you know, with the universe, with, you know, the outdoors, with everything that he's blessed us with. You know what I'm saying? The water, the sun, the moon, because it's all a part of it. And I too, most recently during this whole pandemic, started getting up very early. You know, one of my cousins always tells me, like, she's like, you know, start getting up at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, 5 o'clock for what? You know, but it was just like, be up and praying. You want to be up, you know, like me and mommy always says, 50,000 steps ahead of the bad stuff that is always ready and waiting for you. And so if you're up 50,000 steps ahead, if you're up 5 a.m., then your brain is ready. You've done your meditation, you've prayed, you've manifested, you know what I'm saying? And you've done the affirmations to speak good things into your day, you know? So I'm totally with you on that. And like I said, I know you, what are you, 25, is it? 26?
25.
25. Yes. So you're definitely, for you to be 25 and already there, yes, I see you have already received 100,000 Grammys. And Because I walk up to my counter every night, Tasha, like literally every night, and I thank you. I'm like, thank you all so much for coming out. I appreciate you for coming. You know, you have to do that. And you have to see yourself there before you get there.
Yep.
You agree with that?
Yes, 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 and yes.
So let's talk about the Latin singer. You're an indie artist, as I just mentioned, 25 years young. Gozala is what we came in on. Am I saying it right?
It's Gozala.
Gozala. Okay. So that is the song I told you I was playing all day yesterday. And Echate Paya.
Echate
Paya. Those two are you have great music, but those two are my favorite. So talk to me about the process of those two songs.
Okay, so those two songs I wrote with John Stewart, yes, who I had met through in a Facebook group that I was on, and he was looking for someone to interpret a song he had written, and it wasn't Gozala or Echate, but it was just like another song that he had. And that's how me and John connected. He brought me into the studio one day, and he was like, can you hear the lyrics, hear the song, and then you just sing, like whatever comes to your head. So I was like, and mind you, this was like my first time that anybody asked me to, like, you know, sing a song of theirs and just kind of improvise. Wow. So I was very nervous. I was like, oh my God, I really hope I don't like do anything wrong. Like I was very nervous. But I mean, everything came out super good. He really liked how my voice was and how I interpreted. So that's when we started to collab on a few songs. He was doing country, but he wanted to like experiment with like Latin pop music. So he when it was for Gozala, which was the first song that I ever took out, he had written it, like, so usually he like gets, because he's a guitarist, so he like writes the song, the instrumental track, and he's like, Nathasha, here you go, like what you like, let's see what you can come up with, like write to the song. So Gozala was actually written in Colombia.
Wow.
Yes. So this was my last trip before quarantine in February of this year. I went to the carnivals. I went to celebrate carnivals in Barranquilla. And he had sent me the song literally like a few days before I left on the plane. And I was like, oh my God, like I don't know if I'm going to be able to write, like, you know, I'm going to be like partying and like, you know,
yeah,
write a song. And I was so wrong. Like, when I was in Colombia I was there for a week, and I wrote the song. I was with my best friend Ale, who just commented.
Hello, Ale.
Colombia, and there was this time that we had like some downtime because we were like really going at it, and you know, we needed a day to rest. And I was like, I took out my book, I took out the song, and I was like, okay, let's see what I can come up with. Let's see if I'm in that mental state to like write a song. And it just started flowing. Like, so have you ever been to Colombia?
Never, not yet.
Okay, so you go, like, the people over there are like so nice, like so like full of energy, like feel it when you enter the country. I was like very inspired by all those like different energies that I was surrounding myself throughout those days. And I like the lyrics just started coming out. So like Gozala in like the whole song in English basically means like, you know, live your life the way you want to live it, you know, like get ready to like stomp down and be like, no, this is my life, so I'm gonna live it, you know, I'm gonna enjoy it. Gozala is to like yeah, in English it would be like enjoy it. So like enjoy every single moment. So that's where the lyrics come from, and it was all from like all the carnivals, and just the whole vibe over there was like, hey, like everybody here like lives their life so like freely, so like always happy, always like la gozadera, which is like, you know, the party and all the good vibes. Yeah. So Colombia is the place that I wrote my first song, which is it was very cool to see. You know, I have my little songwriting book, so I that with me everywhere, because you never know when you're going to get a lyric that comes to your head.
Comes to your head. Do you use your phone sometimes too? Because I'm like that with my recording part.
Yeah. I'm just like, and then I put draft 1 or whatever. And then I go back to it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. Let's continue. Let's build on it.
Yeah.
So that was Gozala, and it was a big success. It was my first song, and I released it literally end of March this year. So I started when this whole pandemic started.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And like, it's now or never, you know? So
yeah.
So that one came out, and then Échate Pa' Allá was my second song that I did with John, and that one was a little bit more Latin pop, a little bit of rock in there.
Yes.
Very different from Gozala, but it's in the same realm that we're like exploring. And that one's a very fun one, because that one I wrote about my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend.
Oh boy. The boyfriend that's on right now online with us?
Yeah. I believe he is still online, but maybe he might step out because he doesn't want to hear it. But yeah, it was inspired by a lovely lady who kept on bugging my boyfriend, and I had to let out my feelings in an artistic way. And
I love it.
And let me tell you, it was a success. Like, everyone was like, oh, like, I really like this. Like, that is basically move over, you know, like.
It's relatable though, right? I mean, who hasn't experienced that? You know,
like basically like a girl who's like done being the side chick and wants to be the main chick, you know?
Lord Jesus. I love it. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So that's basically the whole song. Is just like so Échate Pa' Allá, move on over. So it's like, is it hard to get it into your head that he's not into you, you know? Like, there were like a lot of verses. This one verse that everybody like really relates to. I was like, you know, he doesn't even have you saved on his phone. Like, you're an unknown number. And everyone was like, ooh. And I was like,
yes. Lyrics are so important, right? Because I mean, it's not just about listening to we love the instruments, of course, the guitar, the bass, the music, but the message also needs to coincide with all of that and make it like cohesive. You know what I'm saying? So I totally can relate. Again, I'm older than you, so I've been there and done it. Okay. So tell me, because one thing about this song is that it takes me into a conversation that a lot of people do talk about, they don't talk about, but I think it's positive because it's a chronology and a crossover, right? With Latin music and of course pop music. And there was a time period where, you know, we can go back all the way like to Selena, you know, and to even Gloria Estefan, you know, she's one of the greats. And she's actually from here, you know, from the Bay Area. So, but I feel like it's like when Latin crossover becomes Latin takeover, you know, and I think it's very powerful. Despacito was a big one. If you remember Despacito, it was like, it took over the world, you know.
To Despacito, like you were living under a rock.
Yeah, like, so talk to me about that, because I mean, that's what this song has done, you know, the song that you were just talking about, Échate Pa' Allá.
Like the Latin crossover between like pop. Well, I always try to like, I want to like my music, I always want it to be current, you know, like, you know, there's always different trends that are going on. Like bilingual is something that's been happening more with music, and a lot of collaborations with, like you said, like American artists, Spanish artists, and every time that happens, it's a banger. Like everyone's like, whoa, like down, this is the best song yet, you know. So I want to be that artist that I'm able to like experiment different trends that are going on at the moment, because as an artist you always have you have to keep up with what is popping at the moment, and, you know, and give it like, obviously, like your music, like be true to who you are as an artist, but like you can also like kind of explore different ways that, you know, I feel like as an artist, if you have different what's it called, like inspirations, like different things from different songs, you can really create really good song. I mean, a song has a lot of elements, a lot of different what's it called, a lot of different, oh, I just forgot, like I forgot where I was going, but okay, basically all the like the impressions or on different things that just one song has. Song with a lot of people, like one song could be made by like 10 people, and it's like all those different experiences make that song so amazing. Yeah. So I love that Latin crossover. Like all I'm waiting for, like let's see, oh, like the Black Eyed Peas that they did, their whole album was all Spanish artists, which was so cool because you would have never expected the Black Eyed Peas to be doing Spanish songs. Like,
yeah, incredible.
Huge success. So it's awesome that they still keep like their Black Eyed Peas, you know, their vibe, but they add a little bit of flavor of of what people are listening to right now. So that's what I want to explore different Latin pop genres that I think might be to my fitting and that I like to hear as myself. Just kind of see what is the song that people are going to relate more to or are going to enjoy listening more to.
And I like that because what you're doing too as an indie artist, and I think it's incredible too because you're really diving deep into what's called creative control. I mean, everybody wants to have creative control. A lot of people, and I'm sure John Stewart has mentioned this because of course he's from the industry and his experience and as a veteran talks about how people lose the creative control. So I think you're already there to the point where it's like whatever happens, whether it's a major deal or continuing to do what you're doing as an indie artist, you have paved the way for a lot of artists that are going to come behind you, whether they be Latin artists or crossover pop and Latin. What would you say to an aspiring male or female artist that is wanting to do the same thing that you're doing and just doesn't know where to start or what to do? What would you say to them?
Well, it's like, I wish somebody would have told me this when I was, you know, starting out. Like, honestly, the first thing you gotta do is really believe in yourself. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, no one will, you know? So that is, if you know you got talent and you know that you're good, like, yo, believe in yourself and like, put that foot down and be like, yo, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. I always, you know, as people who are starting off, if you don't have an original, you know, song yet, it's always like, I love covers. Covers are the one thing you can go to and make it your own. Give it a little of your style, of your vibe, and open up a YouTube channel. YouTube is like the best place you can go as a indie artist or just as anybody who wants to be a singer, because everybody posts covers of all the songs that are like popular. So if that's what you want to do, like definitely start off there. And honestly, like look up for YouTube beats. Like there's a lot of beats on YouTube that you can use and you can practice your writing skills, your songwriting skills. And that's another way to like, you know, build it up, like maybe record it, like do like a video. And then if like it's something you're super serious about, then, you know, look for a producer, like try to in your area and see if you can collab on a project.
Yeah. Well, speaking of producers, I see DJ High Volume just came on. What's up, DJ High Volume? He's an incredible producer who was on about 2 days ago. So yeah. So yeah, you're speaking it up. You're speaking it into existence.
I tell you, I have well, as an indie artist, I like that you can work with different producers, you know, that you don't have to stick to just one person, because one person, you know, you're limiting yourself. I mean, and since I'm starting out, I'm still kind of feeling what way I want to go to, like what direction my music wants to go to. So like all the songs that I have out now, I love them. I freaking love them. And it's like, and I'm happy and I'm like super grateful of how they come out. But I think I want to kind of explore a little bit more, still Latin, but like Latin, urban, like reggaeton.
Yes, girl. Yes, honey.
So I yeah, Monique knows about the reggaeton.
I love reggae. I actually was just recently working with 7th Street Band. They're a reggae, well, they are a band. I don't want to ever categorize, but they work with a lot of reggae artists. So I'm just putting them out there for you. They're 7th Street Band. They're incredible. Incredible band.
So I'm, exploring. I'm working with a Latin producer who does a lot of Latin trap. More of that, the songs I have now, it's like very dancey, but I want to try songs that it's like, yo, you grab your partner, you're like, yeah,
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to explore. I'm really excited because I have a song in the works. It's not going to be released until next year, early next year, but I'm excited about to see how people react to that one, because I really like that genre, like, J Balvin. I don't know if you know, like Balvin, Karol G, like Becky G, all those like Latin artists, like Maluma. I love that's the type of vibe that I'm going for. The way their songs are. So I'm trying to explore and see, let's see how it goes with that type of Latin pop. So I'm still exploring, but I love all the projects that I've done because that's what is gonna build me up as an artist.
Yeah. And you're reaching a lot of different people, you know what I'm saying? And that's what your sound does. I mean, different sounds and different instruments and songs reach different people. They reach different cultures, right? And this is a perfect time, and I hate to say it, but it's in the middle of a trying time for a lot of people. COVID-19 started in the middle of March. And then, of course, with all the race wars and the unfortunate circumstances of what we've seen on TV, murder, both African-American, brown-skinned people, Hispanic being killed, So where were you, for one, in March when all this happened? And obviously you still have been able to put out music, but what mindset were you in? And what are your thoughts right now today, with what has transitioned and what has happened in 2020?
2020, that is honestly, like, this is a book. This is a year that I'm gonna read about years from now. I never thought I would be living in like what I've seen and experienced in 2020. I never thought I would ever see that. I feel like I would have seen that on a movie. The whole COVID. Who would have ever thought that you would have to be walking outside with masks on? Like a dog, basically. Basically, we are like dogs with like masks on. That was gonna be our 2020, and I forget in 2019 it was New Year, and we're like, oh, 2020 is gonna be our
best year.
Start of the decade, and it was just like, oh my God, and it's so sad with everything that has happened, like COVID, and then everything about, like you said, the race wars. Like, we're in America, like, why is this still happening in 2020? It's just it's sad, and it's so like it gets you angry because like, you live in the US, and the US shouldn't be like that. US should, like, splitting different races and making one more important than the other. Like, what is our constitution like? And oh my God, our constitution, our freaking Star Spangled Banner, we're all equal. Why is that? Why is this year, I guess honestly, like, it's been like a horrible year when it comes to that. But then, like, you start thinking, it's like, maybe this whole 2020 had to happen to, like, that mindset, like, so it's a bittersweet 2020. But I have faith that next year it is going to be better, and a lot of these issues that are happening in 2020 will be resolved, and people will start putting action into everything that's been happening in 2020. It's a weird 2020. That's why when I was like, is it okay? Should I be really big? But then it's like,
yes,
the time is always right. The time is always, you keep on waiting and waiting and waiting. It's just, you're always gonna keep on waiting. So I feel like 2020 is a year that everyone needed to kind of like, yo, like, how important is a hug to you now? You know, like, how important is it to like be able to talk to somebody, hug somebody? Like, how important is it to wash your hands? You didn't think it was that important? Maybe you did, but like, now more important, you know? Like, I feel like now we're all a little bit more self-conscious about things, about like police brutality, which has happened. It still has happened for many years, but like this year was horrible, like the worst. So it's like more people are more aware, okay, police brutality, like, you know, race and all that stuff. So I feel like this is a year that is challenging the human race.
Yes. Absolutely. And the thing is, it's actually the real pandemic, right? Like they talk about COVID, which is, it's been here before. It happens literally every 100 years. It's like a plague. Like if you Google, you'll see people like in the 1920s, they were wearing masks and they were in their little white uniforms with their little hat. Like it keeps happening every 100 years. It's bubonic plague, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I totally agree. Like we're at home for a reason, to be basically stopped so we could see what, yes, the real pandemic is, which is the brutality, which is the race wars, which is something that's been happening, racial inequality for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So the music plays a big role in it because it inspires, you know, it lifts people's spirits up. And then of course, yeah, we write about what's happening too, you know. And I actually, like I said, I wouldn't have started doing this if I was at work. You know what I'm saying? If I was at work all day, you know, and I wouldn't have released not one, but yes, several songs in the middle of pandemic if I was at work still. And I can relate again to you because my grandmother passed away in 2018 and I hadn't released anything since 2018. You know what I'm saying? So this year, I tell people, this is the year not to throw away. You know what I'm saying? This is the year that woke us up, you know? So I totally can, you know, vouch for, yeah. And I think I even said, I posted today, you know, like, I thank God for the stuff that he didn't allow to take place, you know? But yeah, these things that have happened, if we could fight through, and if we're coming out from underneath COVID, you know, from underneath a pandemic, just imagine how powerful you're going to be next year in 2022 and 2023. I mean, if you can come out with a release in the middle of a pandemic, you know, I think you can do all things. You can do anything, you know, and you've done visuals. So talk about the visuals with these songs as well.
The music videos. Okay, so those were all Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, he was, you know, director for a lot of different movies. He has that video background. Yeah. So he always, like, you know, for the songs that we made, he already, before I even wrote the song, he's like, I already know how we're gonna film this. So it was very cool for him. The first Gozala, that was literally, we shot that. That video was not even supposed to come out like that.
Wow.
That was nothing about. So that video, we had filmed some parts and then like everything shut down in Florida, and then I was like, oh my god, like now we have like a half video, like what are we gonna do? Yeah. And he was like, don't worry, like I'll mix it with some other stuff that I got, and then like that's how Gozala was made, from all different videos that he had gotten, and it kind of just flowed together. Like when you look at it, it's like, okay, like it's different, but it flows, you know that it's not the same, but
yeah.
So that one was how that one was created. Échate pa' allá, since he knew what the song was about, he was like, okay, so we're gonna do like, you know, these funny videos of like, you know, crazy girlfriends, crazy Latin girls that got jealous, and that's kind of how that music video came about. That video is more of like a fun video. It wasn't like a so serious video. He wanted to like, you know, something that people can look at and just laugh, and, you know, kind of still go with the song, because the song was about like trying to get rid of a girl that's trying to get at your man. So he all the different memes and different gifs of this girl that I follow, and we kind of just put all her videos together, and he made it roll in the video. So that's been all Jon Stewart. Those ideas were all his for the you know, the songs that we collabed on.
And again, amazing work, and again, an incredible director, because again, it's a blessing, right? I mean, to be able to connect with somebody who's from film, and then also, you know, he's also a musician. I mean, it's just like, it's perfect. It's the perfect time. It's the perfect person, and the person, you know, the perfect person to have around, especially who's true and genuine. Because you can meet a lot of people in this industry that I'm realizing. And I'm trying to be nice, as you see, like, that are not, like, you know, I don't even know how to say it. Like, I mean, they're, you know, for lack of better words, they can be, you know, shitty people, you know, and you just have to really, truly be able to distinguish. I've been asking God to just really show me the heart of everybody that comes into my life, like, that comes around me, because you're going to meet a lot of new people that gravitate, that drop into your DM, you know, they just want to be, let's be a part of this. It's like, no. You know, I need to first pray about this first. So has your music journey, would you say it's had like a deliberate direction? I mean, especially with what we just talked about with COVID, or do you think it's kind of like simply gradually evolving into who you are supposed to be?
I think it's honestly gradually evolving. I feel like, I mean, as a new artist, you're always evolving. Even as an artist who's already like a veteran in music, I feel like you always have room to evolve, always have room to be a better singer, a better composer, a better writer. What I do, I feel like this opportunity, because like during the pandemic, I wrote a lot of songs, so that gave me a lot of time to like really focus on songwriting. And something that I wanted to focus on is, you know, get better at being able to write, you know, better songs. So it's definitely been evolving, because I've been able to like really like get better at writing and kind of get better on melodies. So it's a good time. I had a lot of free time when I didn't work at all. Like 3 months. I had a lot, like, really sit down and like focus and just like, okay, like this and this, like this word rhymes with this word, like what else? Like think about your life, think about the things you've experienced or that other people have experienced, and kind of just put it together.
Absolutely.
So 2020 is an evolving year. I feel like 2021 is just gonna be like my first like stepping stone, and like, you know, the year I'm gonna know what type of artist, like what type of artist I'm gonna be.
Absolutely. Now, are you into poetry at all, Nathasha, or spoken word?
So not really, but I was back in the day in high school. I like to go to poetry. Like I always find it so interesting. Like, those like 3 short word poems. It's with an H. I forgot what it's called. Like, I forgot. But I do like hearing poetry. I think it's beautiful. Like the different ways that people can express themselves about the same thing is very intriguing, very interesting.
Absolutely. What do you like to do outside of music?
Outside of music, well, I mean, I love radio.
Pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to do. I loved being able to go like to like the festivals and, you know, promote the radio that I was promoting. And that was like super cool. I was able to like meet a lot of cool people. Just being in the station itself has opened up a lot of doors. You know, I've been able to like talk to like different artists, or just like, you know, be present while they're there getting interviews. So it was super cool, all of that I did, and hope, you know, next year we'll be able to start doing that again. Apart from that, you know, well, recording, like doing my like air checks, like my you know, not real like lines of me being, oh, it's vocally Tosh and you're listening to Te ponte listo para esta gozadera que vamos a gozar. You know, so I've been like,
I love it.
goals, like one of my goals besides music is I want to be an on-air personality for a top Spanish station here in Miami. So that's one of my goals on the side, like an on-air personality. I really found that passion when I started working at the radio, and it's something that I want to continue building on. So that, obviously, dancing. I love dancing. I love doing TikTok videos. I haven't done one in a while, but those TikTok videos you'll definitely see me doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like about like all the things besides music is definitely like radio, dancing. And then I told you I'm a co-host for a YouTube show, so that's cool because you know, it's a platform that, you know, Brian, who's the main anchor,
Mm-hmm.
well, of the whole thing. I'm glad that he gave me that opportunity for me to be like a co-host and join in on some interviews with him, because it's when you're an on-air personality, like you have to know how to interview people. You have to like
absolutely, yes,
like not have those like awkward pauses, like, you know, like make it sound like a natural conversation. So I've been having a lot of time to be able to do interviews with him. Super cool. Interviewed like some actors, you interviewed like up and coming artists, so it's been like very interesting to be on the other side, you know, interview person. So I really like that. I find that really cool, and I like being with other people and kind of hearing their stories. So that's something I definitely want to pursue, is trying to be an on-air person or a co-host, which I already am, but like it like it would be cool to be like, wow, like a co-host of like, I don't know, freaking Good Morning America.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Cool.
I love it. I love it. Journalism, right? I mean, because that's what it is. And doing even what I'm doing, like I've just realized that's what you're doing. It's like, girl, like, you know, this is like some network type of stuff, you know, like, or can look at it like, you're doing it on IG, you might be on YouTube. But again, what you're speaking into existence, you know, and what you're doing, especially with the artists that you're speaking with and the people that you're talking to, what is the name of the show that you're referring to? Because I think I saw it that you had both your friends. Was it Nadia and Adele?
Yes. It's called Movie Reviews and More.
Movie Reviews and More. Okay.
It's really awesome. I also try to like, because I have a lot of friends who are like entrepreneurs and you know, actress and all that stuff. So I always, you know, I always want to give a helping hand, you know, if I'm being helped and I can help you be on the show and, you know, give light to what you're doing, like I would put you on, like I'll pitch you, and usually, you know, Brian usually says, yeah, let's interview them. So it's very cool. I like supporting people who like are super like, okay, they believe in what they have to sell or what it is they want to do, and I want to be that person that can help them get to that that platform.
Yes.
I always feel like if you are always helping people, good things are going to come.
Absolutely. It reciprocates, right? It's the reciprocating system of the helping others and cause and effect. Like, you know, I believe in that. So what would you say, and why is it important to understand the business side of what you're doing? So you're talking about music, talking about entrepreneurs, or like this radio show or network podcast you're going into. Why is it crucial to understand the business? And let me kind of give it a two-part twist, because you're in the music business. So, you know, you're an indie artist, you know, you're talking to a person that has no clue of what it means, not just to write and record. So copyrights, publishing, you know, PRO, go into that for me.
So that is so very important, very important. So my background in college, my degree was PR. So I learned a lot about, you know, being able to market yourself, like without, you know, like a budget or something, but I was able to get those skills. Like it's super important, like marketing. And so I did public relations, and that has all those skills, sorry, tongue twist. All the skills that I've learned from in college from like PR have helped me be able to promote my brand, or kind of build my brand, not promote it, and find different techniques that, you know, will get my brand noticed. Like a good thing about, since I work in the radio station, I've been able to learn a lot about social media. So very important. There were like little, you know, details about social media, about stories, about hashtags, about when to post, like your captions and all that stuff that I didn't know before I started working in radio. And now I do. So it's honestly very important. And I feel I still need to learn more about the music business itself, because I don't know much about, you know, contracts. Like I do know about like, you know, royalties and copyright and getting your song registered on ASCAP, EMI, and all that stuff. But I still feel like the music business is a very hard business. It's a hard business, and you really have to know, you have to enter it and know a good amount, because I feel like people can screw you over, and when you're trying out to be you know, in the music business.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that I've had, you know, my college degree that has given me the way to, like, you know, okay, how you can market or stuff like that, and then social media, which is super important. Everyone's on social media, so it's very important to learn your social media.
Yeah, and just to continue, because it's ongoing, right? I mean, in any business, to continue to educate yourself and to read and to read and to read and to read and to educate yourself. So
in college, you still got to read a book and write an essay on it, you know.
Yes.
But
continue.
You just have to make sure you got it.
Absolutely. Well, darling, I'm not going to keep you forever. In closing, I want to say thank you so much just for taking the time and just planning to do this for me tonight, and me to come into your world and you to share your journey with us and your story. Tell us all again where we can find you, your account handle for IG, Twitter, and then where your music is, so everyone can listen.
Well, I want to say thank you, Monique, for having me on your platform. It's been a very nice conversation, and I love interviews like this, like where we've been talking for an hour, but if I'm talking to you for 10 minutes, like it's just so I'm very grateful for you, you know, allowing me to talk about my music and about me as an artist. So thank you, Monique. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And, for everyone that is looking and hearing, you can find me at Vocally Tosh on Instagram and on Facebook. And my website is www.rumbos.com. And remember, Nathasha, it has a silent H. A lot of people don't know that, but it has a silent H after the T. So definitely, I'm the only Nathasha Rumbos on Google, because if you put that, I'll be the first one that pops up. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And my music is available on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon Music, everywhere. Just search Nathasha Rumbos and you'll definitely find me. Give me a little follow, give me some streams and some love. And thank you all for you know, being on this live and hearing my story and enjoying this 1 hour moment that we had today.
Yeah. And keep up with the spiritual, the meditation, and the manifestation, the affirmations, all of it. You can see it.
So I have a book for you to read if you haven't read it yet. It's called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. It's
I know Rhonda Byrne. She has a lot of books. The
Magic. Read The Magic.
Okay.
It's a 30. I think it's like 30 days, but each day you do something different. I'm telling you, that book has literally flipped my life. So I recommend everybody to read that book. It's a magic.
Well, you keep up with your magic, and we will see you soon. Please stay in touch, okay?
Yes, Monique.
Thank you. Peace, darling.
Bye.